What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Lowchrome portion of Dropped and Hopped. In this episode, we're going to be touching on some viewer feedback from the 1970s lowrider video, and we're also going to be doing something new on the channel, which I'm excited about. We're going to be featuring some at-home viewers lowriders. You, the at-home viewer, can send me some pictures of your current lowrider, a lowrider you had, your dad's old lowrider, your uncle, your mom, your sister, whoever. It doesn't matter. If it's an old picture, you don't have the car anymore, send it to me. I love old lowriders anyway. And if I get enough, I will post some on a future video. I actually have some for this video. So if you're interested in checking out those cars, stay tuned to later in the video. We'll be exploring those. If you want to send a picture to me to be shown on the channel, send the pictures to droppedandhopped365@gmail.com. And if you have already sent some pictures and I haven't received them, the pictures, the lowriders that I have on this channel are the only ones I have so far. So make sure you double check the spelling, droppedandhopped365@gmail.com. And I'm excited to be able to feature some of the at-home viewers, represent them on this channel, and I think it's going to make for some good video. I just want to say to everybody who's supported the 70s lowrider video, that got a ton of views. I got a lot of subscriptions. So I just want to take this time to thank everybody for their support for that video and for this channel. I'm looking forward to making some great content for you in the future. First up, in the 1970s lowrider video, the movie Walk Proud, Emilio, the main character's car, I stated that I had no idea what that car was, and you guys stepped up. I got a lot of answers on that, and it turns out it was a 1960 Ford Starliner. I would have never figured that out. You got to think of how many cars you would have to look up to try to get through that. But thanks to everybody who answered that correctly, and I really appreciate that. Next up, in the Chico and the Man series, the Gypsy Rose confusion was that I had read that there was a 1960, 1963, and a 1964 Gypsy Rolls. I also read that there was just two 63s and a 64 Gypsy Rolls. Recently I came upon a video here on YouTube. Pretty much it was like a mini documentary about Gypsy Rolls. It's about 20 minutes. You can look it up. It's a good watch if you're into old school lowriding. It has some cool stories and some pictures on there. Well, it turns out it was confirmed there were only two 1963s and then the 64. But the story behind it was a little bit interesting. It turns out that the original 63 Gypsy Rolls didn't have any roses on it at all. It just had Gypsy Rose painted on the back window. Now, they didn't discuss what happened to that one, but the other 63 Gypsy Rolls that I featured in the 1970s lowrider video, it did have 72 roses painted around it, and the story behind its demise was pretty interesting. Jesse Valadez and his car club were having a party in a neighborhood I guess they were unfamiliar with, and some local gang members wanted into the party. Jesse turned them away. They came back with the full crew and actually started to destroy Gypsy Rolls with crowbars and bats and things like that. But Jesse Valadez Sr. did not give up on his dream for the Gypsy Rolls. He came back with the now known 64 Gypsy Rolls, which so many people have come to love. Now, actually, while I was watching that documentary here on YouTube, I looked at one of the comments, and it seemed to be somebody who was in the car club at that time and actually said they were there that night. It was kind of interesting. He was talking about that more than just the 63 Gypsy Rolls was damaged that night, that several lowriders were destroyed or vandalized that night. Actually, he talks about some of the car club members having to grab Jesse Valadez Sr. and his that time girlfriend and have to take them and throw them over a fence to keep them from getting beaten by the gang members. Also, I mentioned in the 70s video that I was looking for a song from the movie Boulevard Nights, and a lot of people, I understand you're trying to help. I think people maybe Shazammed it or something like that, and what I kept getting back was, I think it's a new rap group or something like that called Smokey Wonder. I think all that they did with their track was that they had maybe actually taken the clip from the movie and just put some reverb to it. So I appreciate everybody trying to help out, but I don't think that's exactly what we were looking for with this. Another viewer had commented saying he talked to Danny De La Paz, who was the character who played Chuco, and he said a lot of the music for the movie was just filler music. So it might just actually be that this will never be found because it's not actually a real song that was ever printed on record or anything like that. So unfortunately, I think this thing might just be dead in the water, but we'll see. Also, something I want to touch on is that maybe there's some confusion to what the series kind of is. I mean, it was the last episode was lowriders from TV and movies from the 1970s, meaning that any TV show that aired in the 70s or any movie that came out in the 70s, those were the cars that were shown in that video. A lot of people were seem a little bit upset why I didn't put Heartbreaker in the 70s episode, but Heartbreaker came out in like 1983, I believe. So that wouldn't have been in the 70s episode. If it came out in the 80s, I'm going to put it in the upcoming 80s video. Next up, another viewer asked to see my car, and so why not? Here it is. It's nothing special. It's a 1963 Chevy Impala 4-door sedan with the Post, which is probably one of the least sought after cars. But I got this car when I was 18, and I wasn't going to be like, no, I'm going to hold out for the 2-door. It's still a great car, in my opinion. At this point in my life, I have so much sentimental value for it. We've been through a lot. I mean, this car, still, I got it in probably 1999 or 2000. So you got to think from 63 to 99, it was not in the best of shape. You know, I broke down in rush hour traffic plenty of times in this thing, and gave me a lot of headaches, but I'm not giving up on it. I know by now it should have already been completely put together, but like you can see with the channel, I kind of jump from thing to thing. My mind, it's hard for me to focus sometimes on things. But with this series and looking at your guys' cars and things like that, it's really inspiring me. And I definitely think I'm going to, here in the near future, start putting some money into it and trying to get it closer to where I want it. I'm never going to make it a show car. It's always just going to be a street car, just for me to have fun and cruise in. But ain't nothing wrong with that. So now that brings us to the viewers' rides. Now I'm excited to show you guys the cars that I have been sent, the pictures I've been sent. And once again, if you want to send your car, an old car, you don't have to have it currently, old pictures, things like that. I love that kind of stuff. Dropped and Hopped 365 at gmail.com. Send them to me. You know, I am looking for lowriders. If it's monster trucks or 4x4s or stuff like that, I mean, motorcycles, I'm probably not going to put them on there. It doesn't have to be a show car, a trailer queen. You know, it doesn't have to be, a street car is fine. If it, you know, it could be primered out. If you're proud of it, send it to me. We'll check it out.
All right, now what you've all been waiting for, the viewers' rides.
So first up, El Chilo 64 writes, there's no real special story behind either of the cars. The 64 has a 3-pump setup, some China wires. The 57 is on bags and sits on Astro Supremes and 520s. I try to get them to look as 70s or 80s as possible. In my opinion, the best years in lowriding. I also agree. Got rid of the 64 because I think they're overdone and went with the 4-door 57 because it's different. First of all, I just got to say this is a great 57. Paint looks great, super clean. Looks like it's laying frame. The visor totally just changes the whole appearance of this car, and looks like the patterns on top look great. Looks like they run from the visor through the top of the car. Interior looks awesome, looks old school. This is definitely a good car. Thanks for sharing. Next up is Oscar Lara's car, a 1976 Chevy Caprice, dubbed True Devotion. Oscar writes, I actually picked up the car about 20 years ago. The original builder, Joe Marzano, used to have a hydraulic shop here in Illinois and had it built in the 80s. He decided to take the vehicle to the next level with full chrome undercarriage. But the car ended up on the back burner, disassembled, and years passed by, and he just decided to part ways with it. When I heard of the car, I went to go see it, and it was on jack stands, but complete undercarriage and engine were out of it. It took 3 truckloads to get all the parts home. Since day one, I always knew that I would finish up with what he started and bring it back to the streets. Now let's take a rundown of everything that this car has. Paint, IROC Z metallic blue with rainbow metal flake and a multi-pearl and candy colors with yellow ribbons across the sides. Murals, the Virgin Mary praying over Chicago's skyline in trunk and roses on quarter panels by window areas. Modifications, dual French antennas, Hollywood top, suicide trunk, shaved handles, side moldings. Interior, blue velour, biscuit tuck and wrinkles, chain steering wheel. Wheels, 14-inch original Dayton's with 520 premium sportways. The engine, the 400 small block with dual glass pack exhaust. Undercarriage, painted floor with all chrome undercarriage. It's a great car. Thanks for sharing with us, Oscar. It looks like maybe late 80s with those ribbons on the side. Not sure what part of the 80s it was originally started, but it looks great, and thanks again. The next car, unfortunately, I really didn't get a whole lot of information from the person who sent it to me, but it is a car that we probably have seen before. If you've seen Boulevard Nights, you've seen the classical cruiser. Now, I believe this is a 1950 Chevy Bel Air. I didn't get a lot of info on this car, but it looks amazing. It was definitely one of my favorite cars, and that you really didn't get to see that much of it in Boulevard Nights. I believe this is probably the original owner. That's probably him back in the day with the sunroof, and some more great pictures at a car show here. You can see the great pinstriping down the sides. That's probably at a Lowrider magazine back in maybe the 80s, 70s, 80s. Looks great, man. Just beautiful pinstriping. The colors are awesome. From what it looks like, he was part of Majestic's car club. So I really wish I knew a little bit more about him so I could give you guys some more information, but I really lost contact with the person who sent it to me. I believe that was the person's father's car. So, but it's still a truly amazing car. It was great to see these pictures, and I really appreciate you sharing them with me. I wish I had more info though, but thanks a lot. And that's it for this one, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everybody sending their cars. They're beautiful cars, and hopefully I see more viewers' cars in the future. Once again, dropped and hop 365@gmail.com if you want to send some in. And if you like what you see, make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, hit the notification bell, because I don't know when I'm gonna be able to upload. I can't upload constantly. I don't do this for a living, so I have a regular job. That's what's kind of been pushing back the 80s video, but it is coming and it is in the works. With your help, I'm doing it. I've been working a lot of hours lately, weekends, and I haven't really got the time to film, edit, research, all those things, so it's been really hard. But thanks for everybody being patient and sticking in there with me. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you in the next one.